trip.
Can we go home?
Nope. He asked if we could go home. We're about another 10 minutes away. Daryl, do you have a story?
Do I have a story? A story about what?
Talk to me.
Sure.
We're going to be entertained by our vice chairman for a moment. So he's got a little spiel for you.
A little spiel.
No, just jump at it.
Okay. What do you want me to talk about? Okay, show of hands, how many of you were here at convention last year? Okay, well they've already heard this story. Should I do it anyway? All right. This is something. So I love this. Okay, so when I die, I want to have something engraved on my tombstone. And I used it in the speech I ran for vice chair last year, if you remember it. You're going to be bored, but whatever. So here it is. So years ago, you remember Lawrence of Arabia? You guys have heard of Lawrence of Arabia, right? Yeah. So Lawrence of Arabia is this young lieutenant in the army, British Army. He goes over to the Arab Peninsula. He raises heck. Most of you guys remember him, marching across the desert in this white robes, saying, "We shall take Aqaba because it is our pleasure." And yet most people don't know that the white robes were an inside joke. Actually, he was a confirmed bachelor, a lifelong bachelor, like our chairman here, the Arabs basically, Prince Faisal gave him those white robes. They were wedding garb, actually, and they gave him that as a subtle hint to get with the program. So afterwards, he goes back to England and he sits down and he starts to write his memoirs. And I pointed out last year, he modestly titled them The 7 Pillars of Wisdom. And he tried to explain what inspired him to change the world. And he described it this way. So I've got a copy of The 7 Pillars of Wisdom in my library in my office. And I have a book note in there for my wife. So that when I die, if I get hit by a bus, she knows to go to that book, open up to page 67 of the introduction, transcribe the parts that I've highlighted, and engrave it on my gravestone. And it says this: "All men dream, but not equally. Those who dream by night in the dusty recesses of their minds wake in the day to discover that it was vanity. But the dreamers of the day are dangerous men, for they may act on their dreams with open eyes and see them become real." And this is the observation that I had. I said, look at us, right? We're all wide awake, and we all have a dream, and I talked about it earlier, right? A nation that finally lives up to the promise of the vision of its founders. It's governed by the letter and the spirit of its founding documents. You heard it earlier. And it's a pretty exciting dream, and it's pretty important. And that, you know what that makes us? That makes the 1,500 of us who are here today, most of whom have left, but that we're here today, the most dangerous men and women on earth. And it just, the only thought that I want to leave you guys with, thanks Casey for the second, but we need to continue to live dangerously. And we need to share that dream with as many people in Utah, the state of Utah, and in the country as we can. Because make no mistake, everyone's looking at us. And I wasn't kidding about the guy from Atlanta who called up and said, "What's your secret sauce?" And I kind of was like, I don't know, man, everybody's Mormon. Why don't you just convert? And I kind of joked. But we're trying to do, what we're trying to do is set an example. I've got a buddy, you guys all know him. I had this friend, his name was Brian Tout. Sharpest guy I ever knew. He was so successful. He's 33 years old. He's senior director of partnerships at Omniture. I think his mission in life was to prove that you could have more fun than anyone else in the world and still live within the letter of the word of wisdom. In fact, I think if Joseph Smith was alive today, he probably would have added a couple of paragraphs just for Brian, right? Don't go down the 15 freeway at 140 miles an hour in your boss's Lamborghini. He was very, very successful, and most of you know him, right? If you drive down the 15 freeway and you go by, it's down now, but if you go by the point of the mountain, you guys, most of you have done this, you see Adobe on the left-hand side, right? Well, on the right-hand side, for the last year, there's been this baby blue sign that said, "Brian, thanks for the laughs." You guys remember that? That's my boy. That's my buddy. And we used to dream together, He bought an Acura TSX. So I went and got one with remote starter. So he one-upped me and went and got a Cooper Mini. So I went and got an Audi A4 Turbo. Said, yeah, try and drive that in the snow. I mean, just a really terrific guy. And when he died last year, we found out that he had his motto tattooed on his back. And when he died, we actually went and we got that motto stamped on our arms. In fact, I've got it here now. I don't know if you guys can't see this, but it's a simple 2-word motto: do work. I've been wearing this on my arm for the last couple of weeks because that's what we as a party need to do. We've got the dream, but like Earl Nightingale said earlier, right? I mean, it's a dream that's too exciting, too important to remain in the realm of fantasy, and we have to, day after day, hour after hour, toil. It's that do work that we need to focus on. And that's why these 20 committees that you guys are signing up for are so important. That's why the office is so important. That's why I'm so proud of the fact that we finally reached out to the college Republicans for the first time since Marion Monahan was chair. You know, that we got an executive director. We raised $10,000 from our legislators. We got an executive director so that we could have the first internship program in the history of this party. Is our intern here? Anywhere? Whatever. Oh, where is she? Oh, there she is. Stand up. This is our intern from the spring semester. Now, listen, talking about do work, she's not just hanging out trying to find out how to do politics. You know they've made 3,000 phone calls in the last 4 months in that office? Between our executive director and this one intern, 3,000 phone calls. But that's with 3 empty phones and 3 empty computers. I mean, we need people, we need bodies. So we've got the infrastructure, we've got the plan, we've got the vision, we got the dream. I mean, we can do the work. We can set an example for every Republican Party, state, county, national in the United States. We just need to plug in the people. And thank you all for signing up for all those sheets, but that's why it's important. That's why we keep harping on this. Get involved, do the work, live the dream, continue to live dangerously. Thanks for your time. Hopefully we'll be done here in a minute and go home to your families.